Good afternoon, everybody. It's a rainy Thursday down here in Melbourne, Florida. Today, we're going to be getting into our new software update, AviOS 10.3.1.2. So I'm joined today by Will Reichert, Pilot Support Representative. He's going to be fielding your questions in the chat today. And I have a special guest in our webinar today, Steve Lindsley, our Principal Software Engineer. He has been crucial in the development of this software update and a lot of our other software updates. So he is going to be joining me today to help articulate what's going on with 10.3.1.2. Of course, our email is pilotsupport@avidyne.com. Make sure that your speakers are on. There will be a Q&A at the end, and this webinar is being recorded. Okay, so a little bit of what we're going to be getting into today is, of course, we'll make our announcement on the release date. We'll go over some of the improvements. I'll go over with you guys again on how to obtain the software, and of course, our resources and a Q&A at the end. I expect this webinar to be a little bit shorter than most, so let's just dig right into it. So first and foremost, the release date for AviOS 10.3.1.2 is going to be Monday, February 20th, 2023. That is next Monday. There's going to be a lot of questions about release notes and what is in the update. The full release notes are going to be in that knowledge base article, as they always are. We will have that knowledge base article go live on Monday, and that's going to be IFD 5XX, 4XX, software update 10.3.1.2 update, and instructional video for loading. What I do want to do with you guys today in this webinar is go over some, but not all of the improvements. Of course, you get the full list for that, but I do want to hit the frequently asked ones. So digging right in, the tune frequencies not being retained across power cycles has been resolved. It will no longer revert to 118.2 and 132.6.5 upon power up. So that is one thing that we did get resolved with 10.3.1.2. So I know that's a welcome fix. Okay, so the direct to entry. Now this is for dual IFD installations. The direct to entry was canceled when using keyboard convenience mode. And so that really only affected people with dual IFDs with cross sync turned on. Basically what would happen is you would enter something in the direct to block, you would hit enter, and it would basically just go back like nothing happened. That has since been resolved, and we have told folks that they had to turn off cross sync. Once you update to 10.3.1.2, you can now turn your keyboard convenience back on in both IFDs in a dual IFD installation with cross sync turned on. Okay, so here's another one. En route VNAV deviations, they didn't match the G5's non-standard scaling, and we actually released a service information letter about that, telling folks that, hey, if you've got this, go ahead and shut off en route VNAV for this. So with 10.3.1.2, that inactivates this service information letter, and now the scaling matches the G5 scaling changes that were made. So that's all set. Another one is PFDs using Gamma 429, such as our EXP 5000, our Integra PFD, and some of the Aspens. The runway centerline wasn't showing up. So now that's been fixed, and we can see runway centerlines on those PFDs. All those displays that were driven by RS-232 were never affected by this. So if you're not sure what we're talking about here, if you don't have a EXP 5000 or an Aspen display, and you've always seen that, don't worry, it didn't apply to you. So next thing, how to obtain this software. As we mentioned before, it's going to be out on Monday, on February 20th. So how we're going to do that, there's a couple different ways. Of course, the first and foremost, the primary, the recommended way to do this is to see your Avidyne dealer. They're going to have this available to them. Just take your plane over to your dealer, say, hey, you want 10.3.1.2 update. They will get you squared away. The other way to do that is to go to our knowledge base. Now, this isn't live yet. This will be live on Monday, but you go to our knowledge base article that I mentioned previously, that 10.3.1.2 update and instructional video for loading. How to get to that with our newly designed website. If you click Pilot Support at the top, it's going to take you to our Customer Resource Center. On the left side, you're going to see Knowledge Base. Click that link where it says Pilot Portal, and then it'll take you to our knowledge base. Until it becomes a popular link, it won't show up on the top 10 links just yet. So go ahead and just type in 10.3.1.2, and you'll see that in the list. Once you click there, you'll get the full list, the full release notes, everything that 10.3.0.2 brings, 10.3.1.2 also, It has the video as well. And at the bottom of the link, bottom of the article, there's going to be a link for getting that software. So once you click that link at the bottom of the page, it's going to take you to this software request. If you've downloaded 10.3.2 or if you've requested it from our website, it's the exact same form. We've just changed it for 10.3.1.2. So make sure that you fill this out entirely. You've got to give your A&P IA information for the repair station that's performing the update. And we just really do that for tracking in case we have to get some information out there. We know who to contact, you and the shop as well. And then, of course, at the bottom here, there is going to be some terms. If you are not going to be doing this update, add an Avidyne dealer. It's really, really, really important that you read this and understand this before you hit submit. And then we will go ahead and send that to you. Now, if you are an experimental aircraft owner and you have the builder certificate for that aircraft, you're going to do it the exact same way that somebody going outside from a dealer would do. You fill out this same form, but instead, if you don't have an A&P number, an IA number, or a dealer that's going to be helping you out with this, go ahead and type experimental and give us your builder certificate number if you would, please. And then same thing, read those, acknowledge those terms, and hit submit. Once you do that, what's going to happen is it's going to take you to this page here. You're going to see request AviOS 10.3.1.2 below with our logo, and then click here to download. That's what you want to click, and then once you do that, it's going to take you to this folder here, this Google Drive folder. This folder has all the files that you need to update the IFD, including the software update service bulletin, the training video, which is no different. It's just it's the same 10.3.0.2 training video. The process is exactly the same. We didn't edit it out for 10.3.1.2. We didn't change anything. It's the exact same video. I know I'll get some emails and some messages saying, hey, you guys messed up. This says 10.3.0.2, not 10.3.1. It's okay. We know we didn't do anything with the video. So if you don't have them yet, the required documents are going to be in the required documentation folder, which includes the ICA, AFMS, and the STC paperwork if you don't already have that. The files that are going to be going onto your freshly formatted FAT32 USB stick are going to be the files with the little blue icon on the left. There's only 4 of them. Please do not load all of these files onto your thumb drive and then try loading them up into the IFD. Just these 4 files right here. Run once, conformity checker, full update, and gold master. Once you do that, read the service bulletin, read it twice, and watch the training video on how to do that if you're not taking that to a dealer. And that's pretty much it there. So resources, we've got plenty of them, not specifically pertaining to this software update, but we just want you to know what kind of training resources are out there for you and for our dealers as well. In addition to our interactive installation manual for our dealers, we do have the tech support YouTube channel where a lot of those interface videos do live. Just keep in mind that these are all supplemental information videos and they do not replace approved installation manuals. It's a little bit of a deeper dive into those interfaces. It really brings those diagrams out to life and how things go and why things are the way that they are and how all that stuff's supposed to work. So really cool tips, tricks, and configurations as well for those. Pilot guides. On that new knowledge base article that will be released on Monday for that software update, there's going to be 4 attachments, 2 pilot guides and 2 quick reference guides. So the pilot guides are going to be there on that knowledge base article. And of course, they're under manuals and guides on avidyne.com. They are shipped, the paper versions are shipped with new IFD purchases in that pilot welcome kit, that cool little leather pouch that comes with your IFDs. Those are in there as well. If you don't have those, or if you want something else, if you want a hard copy version, you want an updated one, the hard copy is available for purchase on Amazon.com at our Amazon store. And just like our pilot guides, our quick reference guides, the same way. They're shipped with the pilot welcome kit and that leather pouch. You can get them for free on Avidyne.com. There's also a link in that 10.3.1.2 knowledge base article. And of course, hard copy and Kindle versions are available on our page as well on Amazon.com. We've got the Avidyne Live Forum. It's a great place for you guys to get together and have a direct line to us here at Avidyne. Our engineers, our sales folks, our marketing folks, we're active in there, and it's a great community to talk with your fellow Avidyne pilots. We do share some company news, new product information gets out there all the time, software update information, legacy product updates are all going to be on the Avidyne Live forum. So go ahead and check that out. We do have the Flying with the Avidyne IFD book, currently version 3, and that has been updated for AviOS 10.3. That is written by the late Michael Bauer. We do have that available on our Amazon store as well. It's scenario-based training. One thing about this Bauer book, guys, we call it the Bauer book, it does not stand to replace the pilot guide. Those two definitely work hand in hand. Flying with the Avidyne IFD is a book that will give you scenario-based training. It'll give you specific scenarios to run through to really get a basic to intermediate level of understanding with your IFD. Along with that, we've got some pilot training videos that are meant to accompany the Bauer book. If you go to our website under training and resources and click on pilot training videos, you will see some videos there that go along with the lessons from the Bauer book. So make sure to check that out as well. Our webinars on demand, just like I say it every week, folks, our webinars are available under webinar replays. If you go to avidyne.com, you'll see all the webinars on demand. It'll send you a registration link. Just punch in your info and we'll send you that as well. And we do make those available as well on our YouTube channel. So make sure to check that out. Our customer knowledge base, again, I'm gonna drive this point home, folks. This is a great resource for you guys to really get an understanding of how things work and little tips and tricks along the way that we've created for you. The knowledge base is a way to find out that information before we reach out to tech support. Now that's totally fine. I love talking to you guys and we love interacting with you guys on the different socials. But check this place out first. Chances are we've probably answered the question that you're looking for. So it's a really good way to get some self-service and to get some of your questions answered. So go ahead and check that out. We get to that by clicking pilot support at the top of avidyne.com and navigating down to our knowledge base. Go ahead and click pilot portal and you'll see the Avidyne Pilot Support Center and knowledge base there. And if you see there, we've got the top articles. That's an ever revolving list of the top 10 most clicked articles or most viewed articles there. And it changes all the time. So check that out. So Gary Reeves is a master instructor. He's a master CFI. He was the 2019 National Instructor of the Year. A good friend of mine, good friend of ours. He offers up some IFD mastery, some online training, some in-person training, a bunch of different courses available for you. Amazing guy, an amazing instructor. Go ahead and visit his site, pilotsafety.org. Of course, we also had the IFD Trainer app for iPad. It is a free play simulator for the iPad on the App Store. Uses certified flight code, and that is available for free download on the iTunes App Store. There is a separate trainer app for X-Plane. So unless you're using X-Plane, be careful which one that you download. You can, of course, download both if you use an X-Plane, but there is a separate trainer for that. IFD Trainer will emulate all 6 different versions of the IFD, and I think it's a great training tool. Social media resources, of course, we're everywhere on YouTube. We're very active on Facebook, on our Avidyne Pilots Club Facebook page, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and all of those. We do have 2 different channels on YouTube with some really great information there. So with that is the end. I know we're going to open it up to some questions. Will, you're in the chat here, so let's open this thing up. And of course, we have Steve Lindsley here, our principal software engineer. So let's answer it up. What kind of questions do we got, folks? Why aren't you covering everything this fixes? Because I want this webinar to be fairly short. So Dave Parrish asked that question. That was one of the things that we wanted to just make sure. We didn't want to cover everything in this because there is quite a few things that we did resolve with 10.3.1.2. But fear not, all of the release notes will be released on Monday. Did the twin engine fuel flow get fixed? Jim Curley, yes, it did. Mark Valancourt had a question. Is there, oh, and I just lost it. Hang on. Mark, I'm getting to your question, bud. Are there major differences between the pilot guides that were for the 10.3.0.2 and the new version? Absolutely not, Mark. No, they're exactly the same thing. Will this update fix the ADS-B traffic communication with the Dynon Skyview system? Right now, traffic from the Dynon is not displayed on the IFD. So this is, I know this gets talked about a lot, and with that system, that ADS-B that comes over Wi-Fi from the Dynon ADS-B module. So what I tell folks is, you know, the IFD will take in standard wireless capstone. And if you're seeing your traffic and weather on the Dynon Skyview system, I would say let it show up there, because I don't think that it sends over in the same language. Now, Steve, back me up on this if I'm wrong here, but I believe the Skyview system doesn't kick it out over standard wireless capstone, which why I think we've been seeing some problems with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly why it doesn't work with Skyview at this point, but it's probably something like that. But I know that it has issues for sure.
Yeah, at that point, the IFD is really a listening device. It's listening for that traffic and weather to come over. Okay, OS 10.3.2 had 3 major defects: frequency retention, which we fixed; lightning levels retention, we'll get to that in a minute; and frequency order on the list of displayed frequencies. When you start on the ground, AWOS or ADIS are last in the list, then you have to hunt for the clearance, ground, and tower frequencies. Were those repaired in 10.3.1.2? 10.3.02 had, it's just a duplicate. It looks like Will answered you there. Let's talk for a minute about the lighting levels retention from the panel rheostat for just a minute there. I know that's come up recently in a couple of different threads in our Pilot Club Facebook page, and I think there may be some confusion about that, about the panel dimming. So the main lighting config page is incredibly customizable. All right, so, and I think some folks may have seen, gosh, I don't think folks were seeing what we thought we were seeing there. But anyways, the panel dimmer has to be wired a certain way, and obviously a software update wouldn't necessarily affect that. But I know some people had said that the lighting jumps from about 50% onto, and it's important to note there that nothing was changed with 10.3.02 or 10.3.1.2 with that. It's always kind of been like that, and it's always been by design. However, Steve and his team have implemented some tweaks to that, to where that jump is not as prominent in future updates. But that was certainly by design. But again, driven by feedback, we have put some changes to that. So Shalom, I hope that answers your question there. Can the upgrade be made from 10.2, or will I need to load 10.3.02 first? Brian Smith asked that question. No, you can jump straight to 10.3.1.2. So once it's released on Monday, you can certainly go ahead and do that. What happened to the webinar about 10.3? Larry Hinton had the question. Looking for it, and I couldn't find it. Should be up there. If it's not on our main website, Larry, go check out our YouTube channel. It should be up there. All right, Will, you got any outstanding questions out there?
No outstanding questions really. Just kind of a few of them are repeated, so we're just kind of going back over those, and I'm just trying to field them where I can as you guys cover some of the major ones.
Will I lose? Oh, here's one. Will I lose all the data such as checklist, user waypoint, and setup? Well, you shouldn't. We're done with it through the update. Will it clear out? No, it definitely shouldn't.
Mike, I did see one about altitude pre-select being forced into TrueTrack.
Okay.
And
yeah, let's talk about that.
That is fixed. I mean, unfortunately, you have to disable on route VNAV, but when you disable on route VNAV, then that will your TrueTrack won't be overridden.
With the new update, you've got to do that?
With 10.3.1.2, that's correct. The problem is that the software outputs the selected altitude label as part of en route VNav.
Okay.
And when you connect directly to the TrueTrack, there's no PFD in the middle acting as a traffic cop to say, oh, I want to do en route VNav, and you should use this value instead of your pre-select. So since it's hooked directly to the TrueTrack sees that label from our en route VNav and goes, oh, well, that must be what the selected altitude is, and therefore it overrides the control panel. So you do have to disable en route VNav, but it will stop the TrueTrack from being overridden.
Okay, that's only for autopilots that are set up and configured and wired that way, like the TrueTrack.
Correct.
Okay, cool. I'm seeing a lot of questions here about estimated time. So if you have 10.3.02, the update from 10.3.02 to 10.3.1.2 should take anywhere from, I don't remember what the table said on the update service bulletin, but I think it was closer to 20, 25 minutes. We did get some questions about ForeFlight. So yeah, that's something that we're tracking, the flight plan transfer from ForeFlight to the IFD. We've seen a lot of folks have been having that problem. Still a work in progress, right? That kind of takes both of us, and we're actively working with ForeFlight on that to get that resolved. That ring true there, Steve?
Sorry, I was reading another one. What was the question?
Sorry, ForeFlight flight plan transfer, right? I know we've
yeah, we still see intermittent issues with specifically the upload of a flight plan. They are intermittent. It doesn't happen all the time. We continue to work it. There was no fix in 10.3.1 because we have not identified the problem yet. But that's kind of where we are with that one.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Hey, the matter of fact, the one I was reading was about the one that said there are 3 major defects, and there was something in there about the frequencies being in the wrong order, so to speak. There was nothing done with that in 10.3.1.2. In fact, I didn't even really know about that one, but yeah, nothing was done with the ordering of the frequency list.
All right, awesome. All right, thanks for clearing that up. Here's a great question, George Carty. Any new nuggets to see at Sun and Fun? You're just going to have to come to Sun and Fun and find out. Let's see, we got same stuff, same questions. Does flight plan transfer work with FlyQ? Ask FlyQ. We really don't have visibility as whether or not they've updated their software to match our 10.3 SDK. So,
right, our SDK is available to all of the third-party developers, but whether they have integrated the newest changes to the SDK is really on them.
Hey, Mike, this is Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, I've got one question here is, if I haven't upgraded to 10.3.02, you can do that direct with 10.3.1 without 10.3.1.2. You don't have to load 10.3.02 first, right?
Correct. Yeah. You can go straight to 10.3.1.2. Yeah.
Another question here. Let's see. Since upgrade to see the rheostat loses the settings for voltage levels. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I've not a known issue. My answer there is to go just do a DIM bus, just calibrate the DIM bus again. The DIM bus calibration steps are in the installation manual. If you have any issues with that, dealer can definitely help you out with that. It's a pretty simple process. Right. Just try that. I haven't heard of an instance where doing the DIM bus calibration didn't resolve whatever issue some folks were having out there. All right. Well, folks, I think that about wraps it up. If I didn't get to your questions, just reach out to us over at pilotsupport@avidyne.com. I really want to thank Tom Harper, Will Reichert, and Steve Lindsley for joining me on this, and I will see you guys at the next webinar. Have a great Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your day.